Hello, my name is Maxine. Welcome to my yoga YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me. I am back to releasing weekly online yoga classes, occasionally twice a week if I've got time. Alternatively, if you do live in the northeast of England and North Tyneside, I do teach 4 classes per week at 2 local JD gyms. So either way, please let me share my passion for yoga and the magic it holds with you and all of the benefits it holds, from building strength, balance, flexibility, tuning into our inner essence of peace and calm, love and joy that resides within us always. It teaches us how to live our lives more mindfully in the present moment, and just gives us an overall better outlook also on life, as well as all of the good physical aspects that it gives us. So let's begin. I do prefer to stand to begin on foot, because sat down cross-legged or even in a child pose isn't always easy for everyone to begin with. I hope I'm in enough light here. It's very dull and miserable outside. I think it looks quite dark. However, let's begin. Feet either together or hip width apart, slightly turned in over, tucking under the pelvis and softly rolling the shoulders back and down by our sides. Taking a nice deep inhale, reaching up to the sky, bringing the palms together into prayer, and exhale into the heart center. And taking some nice deep conscious breaths. Maybe it's a big deep breath in and a sigh out through the mouth if you want to release any stress and tension or anxiety that you might be feeling. Maybe once, twice or 3 times. And then tuning into the breath, into a natural rhythm, in and out through the nose, closing the eyes, feeling the palms pressed together, the feet planted on the ground. And maybe take a moment, if you'd like, to set an intention, whatever that might be, personal to you. But most importantly, I always encourage, if you're doing nothing else, just to follow your breath. We use the breath to bring us into the present moment. We use the breath to connect the mind with the body and our inner being of peace and calm. And let's begin taking the arms down by our sides. Inhale up to the sky. Exhale down by our sides. So nice, just get into the rhythm of the breath. Inhale up, exhale down, inhale up. So open the heart to the sky. Exhale down, inhale up, exhale down. And one last time, inhale up. And this time, exhale, soften the knees, and let's swan dive into ragdoll. So we'll just let the weight of the body pull you down. Relax the head, neck and shoulders. And the knees are bent, so let the chest fall to the thighs. Relax the head down. Take some nice nourishing breaths. Maybe grab the elbows. Notice how the weight of the body pulls a little deeper. Stretching out the back, the lower spine, the backs of the legs. Maybe a gentle sway, little pulses up and down in the center. And let's take the palms to the ground, plant them, fingers spread wide, stepping it back into our first downward facing dog. So finding a nice strong triangle. If a down dog was too much for you to begin with, you can always just come down into a tabletop and take some cat cows. Alternatively, a nice strong triangle, aligning the arms at the back, hips to the sky, heels towards the ground. And melt the heart down, but don't let it collapse. So push the ground away through the palms to activate the shoulders. Don't worry if the heels aren't touching the ground. That takes some practice, some years of practice before you will get the heels down. You could bend the knees also to help lift the hips higher. So, or maybe pedal, gently sway. Nice deep nourishing breaths. Maybe hold on one side, stretching the deeper the back of the straight leg, and then on the opposite side. So just whatever feels good for you. And then let's bring it down to tabletop and bum to the heels. Stretching the arms out if it's comfortable for you into a child pose of your choice, whether it be knees together or wide kneed. Maybe if you may feel you want to use a cushion to help rest down onto if it's a little bit too far away, if you're not reaching the ground. You can have an active arms where the arms are straight, pressing the fingertips and the palms into the ground. Passive arms where the arms are falling, resting, or the prayer, the hands behind the head. Nice deep breath, maybe just a gentle rock from side to side. And then let's sit it up here and take a nice deep inhale into prayer. Exhale over to one side and reach over, stretching down the side body for several breaths. And then back up to center. Exhale to the opposite side, reaching down. Inhale back to center, and then let's bring the palms to prayer. Nice deep breath in and out. Interlock the fingers, take the arms straight, push the palms towards the ground, out in front. Inhale up to the sky. Nice deep inhale, exhale, let the hips fall off one side as I reach over to the opposite side. Then inhale back to center. Exhale off to the opposite side, stretching over, feeling that lovely deep stretch down the top side body. Inhale back to center. Release and sweep the arms down by our sides and take the hands behind the back. Bend the elbows, but then pull the chest through, shoulders back, and straighten the arms. Lift the heart open to the sky. And just hold it for several breaths. Lift the arms up behind. And then let us release the arms and massage the shoulders up, back, down and around. So it's a bit of a cat-cow as well at the same time. So round the back. Inhale up, open the heart. And exhale as we round it down. Inhale up, so always try to aim for opening the, inhaling as we open the heart, and exhale as we round it down. And then the opposite way. Inhale, shoulders lift and round. And down. Just holding the head forward. Maybe just straighten out the spine. Several breaths, just gently stretching out the back of the top of the spine and the neck area. And roll the head to one side as we inhale to the back, exhale to the front. And then the opposite side, inhale and exhale. And then let's bring it into tabletop, knees underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders, and just gently walk out the hands in front. And so you could use a block here if you're not going to reach down with the forehead to the ground, or just hold it to wherever you can reach to. Maybe you can lower the head down, maybe you can lower the chin down, maybe you can lower the heart to the ground. Several breaths, maybe it's a gentle sway of the hips if that feels good for you. and then lift it up, walk the hands back in. And then we're going to come onto the toes, so check the hands are underneath your shoulders, fingers always spread wide, it gives you extra balance and support and stability. Knees directly underneath the hips, and then come onto the toes and just lift off the knees an inch or two off the ground and hold it here for several breaths. You can lower down in between if it gets a little intense. And then we're just going to rock the hips down, swiveling the feet to one side, as low as is comfortable for you. So one side and to the other. And then back to centre. Maybe you could lower the knees down just to check that they're still underneath the hips, and then lift them back up again, gauging the core. Then we're going to take one leg out straight, so lower the knee if it's a little bit too intense for you. Flex the foot, point the foot, flex the foot, and bring it back in. So don't lift the knees too high, keep them hovering, or bring them down. And then the opposite leg, flex the foot, point the foot, flex the foot, and bring it back in. Hold for several more breaths. And let's lower it down. Gently sit it back to child pose, stretching out the arms and pressing the fingertips into the mat just to stretch out the wrists. Maybe a gentle rock. And then let's bring it back up into the tabletop. And maybe take some cat-cows now. Inhale, chin up, tailbone up. You can stay static. Move it around. Exhale, round the back. Rock it back and forth. So just feeling your way into the body as you follow the breath. And then let us turn the fingertips pointing in over. So again, the hands are underneath the shoulders, knees are underneath the hips. Turn the palms, so the fingertips are pointing in over. And let's just take a gentle rock from side to side. As you follow the breath, you could close your eyes as you do so. And then let us turn the palms maybe out to the sides, or you may possibly be able to get the fingers to point back towards the knees. So either way, and just rock. So if you are, rock side to side. Maybe let's try them both side to side. And then back, rocking it back and forth. Maybe take it in a little circle. And then the opposite way. And then let us bring it up, and I'm going to turn, maybe I think it's easier here if you bring the knees in a little, because this one's a little more uncomfortable and it's a little difficult to put so much pressure onto the backs of the hands. So bringing the knees in as close as you can. So just going to take it onto the backs of the hands. So they're going to feel a little tight because we've just been holding them in the opposite direction. So just be gentle and take it slowly. So you may feel you're here to begin with your arms out, so therefore you've managed to get that that bend and that flatness. So if you are here, then try maybe lifting it up, bringing the arms up and turning the insides of the elbows forward. And just gently, very, very gently rock it back and forward. Just very, very, just a very little tiny rock. We're not doing it very much at all, just being very gentle. And then if you feel you can, take the knees out a little bit further. If you feel you can take a little bit more extra weight onto the backs of the hands. Maybe a little further again if you find that strength, until the knees are underneath the hips as they were before. Maybe just a very, 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 very gentle little rock again. Just take a break at any time, stop whenever you need to, and then maybe bring the knees back in to lift it up. Or if you can manage to just leave the knees where they are. Now the wrists are going to feel really quite sore, and that is very intense. So let's just give them a gentle massage, circling the hands in one direction. And then the opposite way. Maybe close the eyes. You could make fists, flick the fingers in and out. And then let's take the arms out, interlock the fists, and just maybe make a figure 8 with the fists. In one direction, you can shift the shoulders into it if you want to. And then the opposite way. And then push the palms the opposite way with your interlocked fingers. Inhale up to the sky, reach it up. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, let the hips fall one way, reaching over. Nice deep stretch down the top side body. Several breaths here. And then inhale back to center. Exhale, let the hips fall off the heel. And several breaths here. And then back to center. Nice deep inhale, exhale, bring it up, sweep the arms down by our sides onto the back, fingers pointing down over. Come onto the toes to lift up the heels a little higher. Shoulders back, chest through. Let's push the hips forward. Several breaths. You can keep the chin tucked under. Allow the head to fall back. Maybe you can reach for one heel. Alternate, reach for the opposite heel. Don't worry if you can't. Now, anytime you feel you want to take a break, find a child pose of your choice. Maybe reach for both heels. If you have the heels, maybe creep the fingers down the soles a little. Breathing all the way. And release, bring it up. Uncurl the toes, take the arms back, palms facing up, over. Very gently and slowly lower it down into another version of a child pose. Arms falling passively. Gentle rock from side to side, nice little forehead massage. Nourishing breath. And then let's bring it back up into tabletop. Once again, if you feel you need to massage the spine off a little further, just take some cat-cows, shift it around in any which way feels good for you. And then let's bring it back up. Inhale, chin up, tailbone up, tuck the toes under, lift it up, sink it back. Finding that nice strong triangular shape. Once again, don't forget, if you are here and your arms aren't in alignment with your back, just sink down, maybe soften the knees, just sink the heart down, push the ground away, so we'll have a nice triangular shape. Deep breath in and out. Gaze forward. You could bunny hop to the front, or you can walk the feet. Little baby steps, or maybe it's 2 big steps. Folding it in here. Maybe grab onto the backs of the ankles. You want the knees bent, chest coming to the thigh, let the head fall to the shins. You may like to grab the big toes, 2 fingers round the toes, hold with the thumb on top, pull it in, elbows go out here, opposed to normally we'll have the elbows tucked into the ribs. Or you could grab onto the ankles, or hug it in behind the calves. And then let's roll it up 1 vertebra at a time. And softly roll the shoulders back and down. Inhale up to the sky. And exhale to pray. So just taking a moment here. Slowing the breath down. Just letting the heartbeat settle a little bit if you're noticing it's going a little bit faster than when you began. Just taking a moment, being fully present, noticing how you feel, noticing any sensations in the body. Maybe you can notice this little energy body beginning to flow more freely already, releasing any stuck, blocked energy that we accumulate. And always checking out the posture. Feet slightly turned in over, pelvis tucked under, and the shoulders softly roll back and down. So really lengthening through the spine. Yoga also teaches us how to maintain a good posture also in our daily lives. And then arms down by our sides. Inhale up to the sky, slight back bend, pray. Soften the knees, hinge and fold. Inhale, halfway flat back. If you're not reaching the ground, hands on the shins or the thighs. Bend the knees, hands down, step the right foot back, drop the right knee, left knee directly above the ankle, and we're lengthening through the spine and reaching down. Bring the chest to the thighs, so maybe you're here, using blocks is ideal. Otherwise, reach down as low as you can to the ground. Inhale up to the sky. Exhale, turn the arms the same way as the legs, and then reach either behind the back or down the leg to wherever you can reach to. Take several breaths here. You can look behind, or you can open the heart to the sky. Release the arm from behind, bringing that forward, taking the top arm back, the opposite way to the legs. And then let us reach back, either behind the back or down the leg, or sit it back, straighten out the front leg and reach for that back heel. And then bring it forward and cartwheel the arms once again, the same way as the legs. And then we're going to bring this hand, you may rest it here. I find I have more balance if I hold here, and then bend the back knee and bring the foot up. So making sure your feet and your knee are in line with the hip, because if you've got them too close together on the same track, you'll feel like you're on a tightrope. So just pulling that heel in as close as you can to the bum cheek. Maybe you can release the hand and reach to the sky. Well done. And release. Inhale both hands back up to the sky. And sweep it around a nice big circle. Framing the front foot. Sitting it back. Flex the front foot. Straighten the leg. Keep it soft if you need to. Use your blocks if you have them, or books or anything that you can make do. Inhale, exhale, fold. A little closer. And a little closer. And then gaze forward. Weight down. Frame that front foot. Come onto the ball of the back foot, and we're going to step this front foot back up into a three-legged down dog with quite a distance between the hands and the feet. Several nice deep breaths, finding a nice strong straight leg, tensing through the bum cheek thigh, calf pointing the foot. Nice deep breath in, gaze forward, exhale the knee to the nose. Turn that chin on an angle and place it down. So we're in pigeon pose. I'm going to bring it forward a little. So you could use a block underneath your bum to support, because you need to keep the hips square and the shins on an angle. Some people can have the shin parallel with the top of the mat. That's not absolutely necessary. Just wherever you are comfortable. Just taking several breaths. You could use blocks, or just press the fingertips into the mat. And then maybe you can leave go and reach both or one hand up to the sky. And then taking the opposite hand to the knee down first of all. Bend the back knee behind. And reach behind and grab for the foot. Opposite arm up to the sky. Several breaths. And then let's release it down. And if you'd like to try the opposite side, take the same hand as the knee down, bend the back knee once again, grab for the foot, and so you can hold it here or reach it up, or you may be able to bend the back knee, bringing the foot in towards the bum cheek, and bring the foot into the crease of the inside of the elbow. Maybe hold it up, maybe reach across in front, or eventually reaching behind, grab for the fingertips, more advanced. Don't forget to breathe wherever you are. Or your alternative option, which we're going to all do now, you could have taken this from the start, because just relaxing into this pose is great, especially if you have a sciatica or any such thing like that. So problems with your hips, stretching the arms out actively or passively, or pray the hands behind the back, the head. And then from here, let's lift it up. So don't forget, take a break anytime you need to. If this was feeling a little intense, just relax it down. You may be alternatively, another option is take a stag pose. So both legs are at right angles, and you can just rest down also in a similar way. Or back up from pigeon pose. reaching, let's see, taking the arms out first on an angle so we've got enough room to thread the needle here. So first of all, reaching our left hand up to the sky, stretching it up through the fingertips. And then thread the needle so the elbow bends out over for thread the needle, opposed to what I normally say inside of the elbow forward to tuck into the ribs. With thread the needle, it goes out, through, lower down to wherever you can reach to, and up to the sky with the opposite hand. Several nice deep breaths. Turn the palm, reach behind the back to the opposite thigh. And release the hand to the ground and bring it back up to neutral. And this time, the right hand up to the sky, or the opposite one to what you did before. Stretch it out, reaching up through the fingertips, and bring it down, thread the needle, lower it down, reach to the sky, turn the palm, reach behind the back to the opposite thigh. Release and bring it back up again. And then let's come onto the ball of the back foot, lift it up and take that leg through to the opposite side. Turn it into falling star. And then back around and down, sweeping this leg around into cow face. And then at this point, take the same hand as the knee, that's highest, behind, using that as a prop to lengthen through the spine. Opposite arm across, pressing onto that thigh, just to give you extra leverage to encourage a deeper twist. And then let's take the arm behind, turn the palm, facing up over, bend the elbow and walk the hand up the centre of the spine. Help it with the other hand if you feel you need a little help. You could use straps or belts or towels here just to chuck over the top and walk the fingers up to meet. Just relax and breathe here. Just finding a moment of stillness, just being fully present. Always remembering the moments of stillness in between the poses are actually the most important parts. So if ever you needed to take a break and just relax and breathe, that is more than perfectly all right. And then let's release and give the shoulders a little massage, circle them in one direction and the opposite way. And roll the head one way, then the other. And then let's take the bottom shin parallel with the top of the mat. The opposite leg over the top, shins on top of each other if you can, otherwise just as a normal cross leg position will do. You'll find that leg wants to probably be up here, so maybe first of all just lean back, resting on one hand, pushing down on that thigh. And then possibly just leaning forwards little by little, so whether your legs are just crossed at the ankles or maybe your legs are crossed further down here. If you're less supple, that's perfectly fine. Just gently leaning forward. You could use blocks, or maybe you have a bolster you would like to lean and rest on. You could take little pulses just to bring it in a little closer. Nice deep breath as we bring it up and untie your legs. And we're going to make our way around into tabletop, so you may want to swivel your legs around, or you could possibly lean forward and uncross your legs, bring it back into tabletop. Maybe just taking some movement here, just to massage off the hips a little, and the knees. And inhale, chin up, tailbone up, tuck the toes under, lift it, sink it back into a nice down dog once again. Strong triangle, deep breath in and out. Maybe bunny hop to the front of the mat, or just take little baby steps, or 2 big steps, or 1 big step, and fold it in. Just remember, always modify everything just to suit yourself. It's your practice, so just do whatever feels best and good for you. And then let's release and roll up 1 vertebra at a time. Roll in the shoulders, softly back and down. Inhale to the sky. And exhale, pray. So just once again, taking that moment to allow the breath to slow, deepen, the heartbeat to slow down. And taking that time to notice how you feel, closing the eyes. Standing nice and tall, just noticing the sensations in the body. Maybe you're not feeling anything, that's perfectly fine, but the more time you take and the more present you feel, the more you will feel. And then when you are ready, so you just need to do whatever you feel you want to do in between. If you felt you needed to give your wrists a little massage, or shake your arms, kick your legs out, roll your head, get a drink, just do whatever you want to do in between. And then preparing for the other side. Always checking out the posture, so we're standing as tall as possible, really lengthening through the spine, and as if there was a thread pulling from the top of our head up to the sky. Arms down in mountain pose. Inhale up to the sky, palms together, slight back bend. Pray, soften the knees, hinge and fold. Inhale, halfway flat back, hands on the ground, shins or thighs, soften the knees, hands down, step the left foot back, drop the left knee, right knee above the right ankle, lengthen through the spine and reaching towards the ground as close to as you can. Inhale up to the sky, exhale, turn the arms the same way as the legs, and then reaching either behind the back or down the leg to wherever you can reach to, maybe the heel, and then open the heart as another option up to the sky. Several breaths here. Cartwheel the arms the opposite way to the legs, and then either reaching behind the back or down the leg, or maybe straightening out the front leg, reaching for the heel. Another option. And then bending back into the front knee, cartwheeling the arms once again. And this time, maybe rest here or hold on to the shins. So kind of push that shoulder into the center, making sure the knees and the foot are on separate tracks. Bend the back knee if you can, reaching for the foot, or just take the hand behind your back, Maybe you can pull the foot in towards your bum cheek, but be gentle not to pull it too quickly. Nice deep breaths wherever you are. Maybe you can reach to the sky. That option would be bending it in and reaching down the shin so that the foot's coming up towards the inside of the elbow. And gently release. Inhale back to the sky. And sweep, circle the arms down. To frame the front foot, sit it back. Flex the foot, lengthen, soften the knee if need be. Don't forget, use the blocks if you have to. And then exhale, hinge and fold. Bringing it in as close as you can. Nice deep breath, deep stretch. So kind of pushing into the back hip and bum cheek as you lengthen, hinge and fold from the hip. And then gaze forward, weight down, frame the front foot, come onto the ball of the back foot, lift this front foot back into a three-legged down dog. Nice straight and strong leg, aligning it with the body, tensing through the bum cheek, thigh, calf, pointing the foot. Several deep breaths. And then inhale, gaze forward as we exhale, the knee to the nose. Sorry, I think I'm on the right side. Yes, I am. Knee to the nose and let the shin come to the ground. So we want the knee wide of the hip as well if possible. And then just going to curl the back toes and slide that back leg back. But don't worry if you may be here or if your knee wants to be there. Just try, see if you can get it out further to the side. You achieve more balance that way, but don't worry if you're not. And let's use blocks if you need to. Press through the fingertips. Several nice, deep, conscious breaths. And remember as well, if you, as an alternative, you can just rest it down and then maybe bring it up and down as you please. Maybe reaching one or both hands up to the sky. And then taking the opposite hand to the knee down. Bending the back knee and grabbing for the foot. Reach up to the sky maybe, or just hold on to the ground. Several breaths. And then let's release it down. Taking the same hand as the knee down this time. And bending the back knee once again. Just check also that the back leg is just going straight back. It's not out to the side. So check. It's in alignment. Bend the back knee once again, grab for the foot, then maybe hold it here or lift it up here. You may want to try and pull the foot in a little closer. Maybe it's just bringing the foot into the bum cheek, just pushing the heel of the hand onto the top of the foot. Maybe lifting that up there. And taking the foot into the top of, almost meeting the crease of the inside of the elbow, reaching up or reaching across for the fingertips, and reaching over for the fingertips, which is more advanced. So I like to, this is how it's easier if the knee's wide. You can also use your toes to help grip and balance. And then from here, let's just walk it forward and rest it down. And don't forget the stag pose as well with right angled knees is another option. So rest it with active, passive arms up prayer. And then bringing it up, reaching the arms out on an angle in front, allowing enough room for thread the needle. And just notice how we can rotate the elbows there, backs of the elbows go out, which is what we need for thread the needle. Usually most of the rest of the time, insides of the elbows forward, bend and they'll tuck into the ribs. And then let us take the right hand up to the sky. So also if you feel you're not getting the opening up the side, kind of push that shoulder into the center. That helps allow more opening up the side body. And then thread the needle when you're ready. Lower it down. And reach to the sky with the opposite hand. Turn the palm. Reach behind the back. And then release to the ground. Bringing it back to neutral. Just take nice deep breaths in between. And then the left hand to the sky. Stretch it out through the fingertips. Feel the stretch up the side body. Nice inhale, exhale. Reach lower down. Reach to the sky. Turn the palm, reach behind the back to the opposite thigh. And then bring it back to center. And then we're going to come up onto the ball of the back foot and straighten this leg through the opposite side. Swivel on the back foot. Taking it into fallen star. Pushing the hips and the heart to the sky. And sweep it back down. Bending that knee. Sweeping the leg across. And round into cow face. So just taking a moment if you need to compose yourself. Take the same hand as the knee that's highest behind as a prop. And then take the opposite arm across and press onto that thigh to deepen the twist as much as you possibly can. Nice deep relaxing breaths. And then the arm from behind, take it out, turn the palm up, bend the elbow, bring the hand, the back of the hand up the back of the spine, help it with the other hand if you need to. Reach to the sky, bend the elbow, grab for the fingertips. If you have them, take the elbow up, chin up, close the eyes. Maybe just take a gentle sway. And release when you're ready, and then the shoulders a little massage. One way, then the other. And rolling the head. Nice deep relaxing breaths the other way. And then let us take the bottom shin out. Actually, there's an alternative to this as well. So if you are struggling with getting the knees on top of each other, one leg straight and the other foot just across. So getting back to where we were, take the bottom leg, the bottom shin in parallel with the top of the mat. The other foot just on the thigh above the knee, and or a simple cross-leg position. And then again, you may find the knees up there, so just lean back, press down on that inner thigh just above the knee. Just gently open the hip. Nice deep breaths. And then let us lean forward, we're shifting the bum cheeks back a little out the way, and then maybe rest it down, or little pulses. Creep the hands forward, resting it closer to the ground. Maybe you want to just pray the hands behind the head, hold it here. Nice deep breath as we lift it up. And let's come back through into tabletop. Finish it off with some more cat-cows just to massage off the spine a little further in any which way feels right for you. Make big circles, one way than the other. You can exaggerate it or make it as slight or as still and static as you please. And then let's just rest out the arms in front into child pose. So you can finish off here in the child pose, or maybe turn and lie on your back in Shavasana. Whichever you choose. Maybe pray the hands behind the head in the child pose. So wherever you are, just relax, taking a nice deep breath in. Big sigh out. Just letting go of the physical body, anything that doesn't serve you, any negativities, any worries, any cares. Just breathe that all out. Just feeling the lightness of the subtle energy body now flowing freely throughout the body. Any blocked energy you may have had before, any stuck, stale or stagnant energy will have been released during your practice and is now flowing freely. So just notice the lightness of the subtle energy body. Look, as you look into the center of your forehead, into that emptiness. Just float into that space, into the freedom, the peace and the calm that you have created. And when the thoughts pop into your mind, just catch them before they turn into a story and breathe them out, let them go. You could also, as an alternative, have your arms down by your side in the child pose, just letting your arms fall passively, palms facing up over. And just breathe into the stillness. And then let's bring it up from wherever you are, unless you want to continue with your Shavasana, which you are advised to do so because it is the most important part of the practice, at least 5-10 minutes or more. Otherwise, let's begin to prepare to end our practice. Bring in the palms in prayer. You may want to sit in cross-leg position or a kneeling position. Just taking some nice last conscious breaths, just knowing that our breath is a powerful tool, always accessible to us at any time, any place and anywhere, for us to reconnect and reclaim our natural state of being, of peace and calm and love and joy that reside within us always. And as always, before we leave, we end the class with a moment of gratitude. Just giving yourself a thank you for the time that you've taken for yourself and your practice, your body for what it's achieved. And knowing that being in a state of gratitude always lifts our spirits and raises our vibrations, because it releases the happy hormones of dopamine and serotonin. So if ever you're feeling a little low, practice a little bit of yoga and take a moment of gratitude. Just think of several things that you're grateful for, and you will feel like a new person, guaranteed. Thank you so much for joining me, and don't forget, if you have enjoyed your practice with me, please look out for the next video and subscribe so that you may get a notification. And thanks so much. Namaste. Well done, everyone.